All of my cars before the E28 were either newer things, a base Hyundai Veloster and an E84 BMW X1, or much smaller sports cars that prized a short wheelbase at the cost of visibility, a Porsche 914 and an early SLK. The X1 and Veloster shared the worst traits of modern cabins: high beltlines, massive pillars, and a seating position meant to trick you into thinking you are in a far more sporty car. The Targa bar in the 914, and to a lesser extent the roll bars in the SLK, actually created a somewhat similar illusion when looking over my right shoulder, an obstruction in an otherwise clear line of sight. All four had well-bolstered bucket seats that significantly restrict shoulder movement by design. Load error, but the E28 has none of these problems. Instead, this midsize sedan from the early 1980s has such exceptional visibility that this mundane trait has somehow become a major part of the car's appeal. Now, some of this is simply that visibility has gotten worse in just about every category of car since the model bloat that defined mid-2000s convinced buyers that width and thickness were key features of the modern car. Just by virtue of following the styling trends of the late 1970s, the E28 features a short beltline and a massive greenhouse that leaves room for big windows on all four sides. The E28, in particular, also boasts a uniform beltline along all three boxes, a subtly sloped hood and a particularly short rear deck. Together, all of these things make knowing the edges of the car natural on your first drive. Even the extra few inches added on either end by the massive US spec diving board bumpers, not long for my personal car, are easy to accommodate in what is by modern standards a fairly slim car. But some of it is the brilliance of BMW's then signature ergonomics. My E28 features the comfort seats, the ones with an armrest on only one side, derided by true enthusiasts in comparison to the well-bolstered seats that were made so famous in the generation's M5. While they may not be the most supportive things in the world, they offer both serious comfort on short trips and an upright posture that positions the driver perfectly to see out of the sizable windows. When combined with a relatively oversized steering wheel, a perfectly placed gear knob, and the famous driver-facing center console that debuted on the E28, it all creates a sense of belonging in that upright position that does not require you to shift around the cabin to find either comfort or a sightline. Looking all the way over your shoulder is a breeze, not something that requires you to contort yourself in seats designed to keep you facing forward in a tight corner. Even the stylishly massive C-pillars, a feature of all BMWs that accommodate the Hofmeister kink introduced in the 1960s, do not actually get in the way of anything. A well-shaped rear window leaves plenty of room to see around the corner that has become my sightline nemesis on the glass-starved X1. Visibility is not the reason the car is a delight to drive, but it is a nice little surprise that has quickly become one of my favorite traits of a car that is nothing if not very easy to like. It needs a coat of paint, significant cosmetic repairs, and maybe a supercharger, but my well-worn E28 and its Big Six are exactly what I had hoped to find in a project car.